Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss the Belle Collective Season 1, Episode 3. Y'all, this was a doozy of an episode, but without further ado, let's just jump on into it because we don't have a moment to spare. We started off with the first scene, and it's Tambra. She's paying a visit to see her parents. She lets us know that she is a mommy and a daddy's girl. She has a great relationship with both of them. Her parents have been together for, I think she said, 51 years. So they are the shining example of what a good marriage is. I found this scene to be a little bit boring. I mean, we've seen this all before on many other shows. Tambra lets them know that she wants to do things, you know, the right way, so to speak. She wants to be married first. And they're like, oh, you know, we understand. And then she lets us know that her parents still keep in touch with her ex. Now, she said that she was with her ex-boyfriend for 16 years. I said, excuse me? You were a girlfriend for 16 years? Absolutely not. It does not take men a long time at all when they know that you're the one. Okay, it takes men like literally a few dates actually. When they know, like when you're the one that they want, when you're their dream girl, they are trying to get you off the market immediately. Anybody who is with you for 16 years, they ain't that into you. You a placeholder, baby. I said 16 years a girlfriend. I don't think so. It should have been 16 months max and then been out of there. But honey, I digress. So, you know, they're just talking and laughing, and then we end the scene with Tambra joking about unfreezing one of her eggs and popping up with a baby, and the mom is just cracking up laughing. Tambra, I'm gonna need more of a storyline from you, and I'm also going to need you to get rid of that pink lipstick. That pink lipstick does you no favors. It reminds me of like chalk on your lips, like the consistency, it just is, it's awful. It's not your shade. And then you have no lip liner with it. It's a mess. I said, I am so sick and tired of seeing that color on her. And her voice is very much Trina Braxton, like you all said down in the comments. And it's kind of driving me crazy. It's like nails on a chalkboard. But I digress. Let's just move on along to the next scene. So we see in the next scene Antoinette, and she's with her friend from last week's episode. I think her name they said was Keelan, but they're together and they go on over to check out her new up-and-coming dental practice. And we all know that Antoinette is building her own practice from the ground up, and it's costing her like $500,000, okay? So then we see Latrice. She comes on along to join Antoinette and Keelan, and they all of a sudden start discussing the party. And Antoinette is like, when me and Latrice get together, it is a shade fest, and they just start cracking up laughing. Antoinette brings up how Lateisha was like really shady to her, and you know, she's just saying that despite all of the shade, she is happy for Lateisha trying to build Farish Street back up. They're still talking and laughing about the party, and in the midst of the conversation, you know how it is. You're talking to your girls, and since Keelan was there, Keelan didn't understand some of the slang they were using. She was like, what do you guys mean when you guys say, like, you know, keep it real or being real? So they're explaining all of our colloquialisms to Keelan. I'm kind of finding Antoinette's friend to be a little bit annoying. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. But I digress. So now we get to the next scene, and it is Miss Marie. Y'all already know how I feel about Marie. I don't like her. I don't like her attitude. I don't like this faux confidence that she displays. I don't like how she talks about how she's a boss and how she's rich every 5 minutes, okay? I don't like the tackiness. I don't like her outfits. I just don't like anything about her. But I digress. We see Marie at home. She's with her husband and 2 out of the 3 grandbabies. She reminds us that her son has 3 babies by 3 different women, all under the age of 1, and she's watching 2 of them. So now Marie is picking up and playing one of the babies and kissing on the babies, too cute. And she notices that one of her grandbabies has his ears pierced. And she's really put off by that. She's like, wait a second, what? Like, when did this happen? Like, this little baby boy is too young for pierced ears. Like, really? So she's annoyed. So then Cedric is just laughing. And then she lets us know that her and Cedric have just had a roller coaster of a marriage. Cedric and her were married, then divorced, and then remarried again. And it's just been a up and down mess. I'm gonna tell you what I think about Cedric. Don't you worry. So then Marie is like, between my family, between work, between these grandbabies and all these baby mamas, I'm at my breaking point. Like, I just can't do this anymore. Like, somebody is always calling me up for something. So then we see baby mama number 3 coming to pick up her boy. And then she's talking to Marie, and Marie is like, you know, Jerez, which is her son, Jerez needs to be responsible, and he needs to pick up the phone and call you guys. Like, he needs to take care of these kids. But, like, you know, I got you, and I'll always, you know, make sure that my grandbabies are taken care of, but I just need my son to step it up. Like, he had these babies. Honey, when 2 of the 3 baby mamas were there at her house, you could already sense the tension between them. I said, a mess. Because the baby mother number 3, she just left. And then baby mama number 1 came in to talk to Marie. And so I think this baby mother is in school, and she's just saying that, you know, she's doing well. So Marie tells baby mama number 1 that Jerez needs to take responsibility and he needs to answer when they call him. But she lets this one know again that she's going to make sure that her grandkids are taken care of and that they will not go without. So let me just say, this is a raggedy mess that this boy is only 21 years old and already has 3 kids with 3 different girls. I said, what are you teaching your son? You have so much mouth about everybody else. You so big and bad with Latrice, and you have so much to say, but when it comes to teaching your son how to be a responsible young man, it just kind of fell by the wayside, huh? This is a raggedy mess, and I'm going to get into it even more when we go on further and talk about what her son did. So just sit tight. So the next scene, we see Latrice and Melanie. Melanie is Latrice's publicist, okay? They are talking about business and they're out at lunch. And so they're just talking about what they want the new logo for Latrice's new hair care products to be. Latrice is letting us know that she wants to be in every single beauty supply store in the country. And she also wants to be an inspiration for young girls as well. So while they're talking and discussing their new ideas, Cliff calls Latrice and he's like, hey baby, I went by the salon and I didn't see you. And your staff told me that you were out somewhere. They didn't tell me where. So then Latrice says, oh, well, I'm out with Melanie at, I don't know what the restaurant was called, but she's like, oh, we're out at this restaurant, me and Melanie, discussing the plans that we have for the business. So then he's on the phone talking about how he's furious. He's really pissed off that she didn't invite him to this business lunch. So then Latrice is like, babe, like, it's nothing to be mad about. I didn't think I had to tell you about this. Like, this is, like, silly. So like, I guess 15, 20 minutes later, Cliff pulls up. And he says again that he's furious that he wasn't notified about this business lunch. Let me tell you something right now. I do not like this dynamic that Latrice and Cliff have going on. She is not his daughter. He is not her keeper. I'm like so sick of him policing her whereabouts and this feeling like he needs to control her. That was really unsettling to me. I just do not think that this was a smart move at all by asking him to be an investor. Cliff is doing way too much and I'm growing tired of it. I really am. I mean, I thought he was a cute older guy, but now it's like, okay, this guy is really giving controlling weirdo. So now we see Lateisha. She's at home. And who does she invite over? It's her good friend, Marie. Marie comes on over and Lateisha is saying that she is the closest to Marie out of all the ladies and she really likes her and their friendship is just airtight because Marie has always supported her and her endeavors. So they sit down and Lateisha starts asking Marie how she's doing, how the family is doing, and that's when Marie lets Lateisha and us know that all hell has broken loose in her household. She tells Lateisha that her son punched a hole in the wall and started cursing her out, calling her everything but a child of God, and was even saying that he hated her. She is just so shaken up by the sequence of events. She's crying. She says that she feels worthless as a mother. She's just so upset. Lateisha goes on to ask, well, you know, why did this happen? Like, what happened? And Marie lets us know that this all started because she did not want Jerez to go to college 3 hours away from them. And he decided that he was going to go to this college despite what she said. And he was packing up to go. And Marie said, Jerez, if you're going to leave and go to that school, then you might as well pack everything up because you can't come back here anymore. And when she said that, he like lunged at her, she said, and her youngest son had to step in between them and stop the whole thing. And so she even said that he punched 2 more holes in the wall, like down the hallway. So she was just really distraught. She shows a video clip to Lateisha and we hear him cursing and just saying how much he hates her. And he is just irate. Marie is really shaken up. Lateisha's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Like, I am just so sorry to hear this, Marie. I am just so sorry. This is just awful. And Marie is just feeling like I've given this boy everything. Honestly, feel like Marie was not holding this boy accountable for anything growing up. His behaviors and his actions show that he is unable to accept accountability for anything. Even with him having 3 kids by 3 different women, and he's only 21 years of age. That's an issue. And it shows a lack of responsibility. The fact that he doesn't have the good sense to put a condom on, and the fact that he doesn't even call his baby mothers and he ignores their calls when they need something from him. He's just living his life and leaving it to his mom to take care of everything. That shows that there was a breakdown in parenting. Marie is going around trying to destroy Latrice and Latrice's business. She needs to be more concerned with her home life and making sure that her house is in order because her house is in absolute disarray. So Marie is still crying and Lateisha just gives her a big hug and she just lets her know that they're going to be okay. They're going to get through this. And she's just, you know, praying for her friend. And so Marie says, you know, me and my son really do need to sit down and talk immediately because this is just craziness. So then we move on to the next scene. and it is Lateisha and Tambra. They go on over, I think it was to City Hall, to meet up with one of the councilmen of Jackson. And they're just talking about Latisha's plans for Farish Street and how she wants to buy, I think she said, a store or a restaurant, but she wants to buy one of the buildings on the block and she just wants to revitalize it. And everybody sounds really excited. And so the councilman lets Latisha know that he will be walking with her every step of the way and holding her hand through it. And he's excited that she wants to, you know, revitalize the block back up again. So they leave and Latisha starts crying. She's emotional. She starts saying that she wants to make her son proud and how she just hopes that she's making her grandfather proud. Because remember, in last week's episode, Latisha let us know that her grandfather would always tell her really great stories about how Farish Street was just this really awesome block for Black people and how it was really like a hub and it was a community. And so she just wants to make her late grandfather proud. And she says, these are happy tears. I'm just excited for what's to come. So now we move on to the next scene with Latrice and Cliff. They are in their pool, okay? They're having a good time. And Cliff wants to teach Latrice how to swim. I was cracking up when Latrice ran back into her kitchen to get out a plastic bag for her hair before she got in the pool, because I was like, girl, why didn't you just get a shower cap? But I said, I guess something funny for the show. So she gets in the pool and she's trying to learn how to swim. Cliff is nobody's swim instructor, okay? I was just cracking up. He was like trying to lift her up and try to get her to float, and she was like doing a doggy paddle. Needless to say, Cliff was unsuccessful in trying to teach Latrice how to swim. And I was cracking up when he took off his shirt to get in the pool, and she was like, oh yes, baby, like show me that stomach. And she was saying how she likes dad bods, and she just finds Cliff to be so sexy, and she admit that she has daddy issues. And I said, oh, gee, really? Like, it didn't take a genius to figure that one out, but I was cracking up. So the final scene of the night, we see Marie. Marie is at home. She's in her kitchen, and her husband, Cedric, comes home. She lets us know in her confessional that Cedric and her share a daughter together. I think the baby's name is Zora. And how prior to them being married, they each had their own homes. And since they were married and then divorced and then remarried again, Cedric still has his home from before they were married. So she points out to him that she's surprised that he's even home because he wasn't home the night before. And he wasn't home a few nights prior to that. So he's standing there looking stupid. Marie lets us know that they got divorced the first time due to Cedric's cheating. So then the doorbell rings and it is Essie. Essie comes over and she is in the kitchen with them and they're talking. Essie explains that the reason why Jerez is probably acting out is because he has never seen a stable male figure in his life. She points out how Cedric is pretty much a bum. He leeches and lives off of Marie, and Cedric starts getting angry about how it's just like the Essie and Marie show. And so Essie and Marie are in the confessional, and they state that Cedric is jealous of their friendship, but also how they're in business together and how Cedric wanted to be a part of the business. Marie is who you do not want to be. Marie is the poster woman for what desperation will do. Y'all know how I feel about that whole dynamic. I don't agree with it. I believe that men need to be the breadwinners. I don't believe in rich women getting with men who are broke. Absolutely not. Cedric looks at her as a meal ticket, and it is painfully evident. Like, it's embarrassing to watch. I said, child, talking about how you a boss every 5 minutes, but you living in absolute dysfunction and you're desperate. with a piece of a man who's always gone and doesn't have a dime to his name. But I digress. So the doorbell rings, and who should it be but Marie's wayward son, Jerez. So they all gather around the table to have a heart-to-heart and get to the bottom of why Jerez had that awful outburst. Marie starts crying and starts saying that he made her feel worthless. When he told her that he hated her and when he was cursing at her, she just felt just absolutely awful. And she's crying. Her son had that stupid blank expression on his face. I was like, wow, you can't even like comfort your mom or say sorry? Like, what is going on? But I digress. I'm gonna get on him in a minute. So Marie goes on to talk about her reasoning for why she wanted him to go to a college that was closer to them in the first place, because this boy got 3 kids by 3 different women. And they call up Marie's phone all the time because he doesn't want to be a man and take responsibility for his kids. So then she says that he needs to get some counseling and talk to somebody because his anger issues are just not going to cut the mustard. It's unacceptable. So Jerez opens his mouth, and honestly, I was just like, boy, bye. I was just waiting for Jerez to just give Marie an apology. I never heard those words, Mom, I'm so sorry, like, I love you, like, I'll never do that again, like, I'm just really sorry, like, please forgive me. Never heard that come out of his mouth once. While I don't like Marie, I can acknowledge that her son was just dead wrong for doing that to her. And I also think that he is just such a clown because you chose to lay down with each of these girls, and now you don't want to take responsibility for being a man and taking care of these kids. I mean, how dare you try to lunge at your mom and punch a hole in the wall when she's the one paying your college tuition, she's the one funding your life, and she's the one who's also taking care of your kids. I think that her son is an irresponsible, entitled little brat who doesn't want to take any responsibility or accountability for his piss-poor actions whatsoever. And I think that Marie needs to teach him a hard lesson, to be really honest with you. Like, there's absolutely no way. Like, I was waiting for her son to say, Mom, I'm really sorry. And I didn't hear it. Like, I was like, did I miss something? Let me know in the comments if he actually did apologize and I just missed it. But I'm pretty sure that I caught every single thing, because I never heard an apology come out of his lips. Marie, like I said before, the way that you want to get into Latrice for absolutely no reason, but you don't really want to put your son's feet to the fire for his piss-poor actions, that really says a lot about you. And she's way too passive with Cedric. There's no way, well, first of all, I wouldn't even be in that situation anyway, because I'm not getting with the man who's broke. So, so I don't even need to put myself in that as a hypothetical, because that's never happening. But Marie is living in the biggest glass house, and I'm just really curious to see how the rest of her story plays out on this season, because it's just giving mess. It's giving a lot of dysfunction, and it's giving a lot of nonsense. But y'all, that was my recap. This episode was a doozy. You already know what to do. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.